Hey, what's going on, party people? It's me, Dman the Voice, back at it again with another podcast. I know that it's kind of inconsistent with when I upload and when I don't, but I do have a job, and then I'm also a voice actor on top of having a job, and I have other responsibilities with my personal life and whatnot, so I get these out when I can, when I have time, and it just so happens I have a little bit of time today, so we're going to go on Reddit, and we're going to read an Am I the Asshole story for all of you's listening pleasures. That's it. That's all I got for the intro. So, sit down and buckle up and get ready for an adventure through the dregs of the fucking internet. Let's go. Alrighty, folks. Let's see. My husband raised his hands at me and told me to shut up. Thinking of divorce. Am I the asshole? I think this story is going to make me a little mad, folks. Because what do you mean your husband raised his hands at you? If you've listened to me for any length of time, you know that I do not fuck with nor tolerate any form of abuse, spousal abuse, child abuse, sexual abuse, mental, physical, emotional, financial, whatever fucking label you want to put on it. Abuse is abuse. We all know what it looks like. Sometimes it can be harder to recognize than others. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be hard for things to be taken seriously as abuse. You know, obviously it's easy to see husband smacking a wife across the face as abuse, but what about all the little shit he does, right? What about all the little jabs, little emotional and mental jabs here and there that they can both do to each other? Right, creating a whole toxic environment for everyone. So, yeah, I hate abuse in all forms, but this overt brand of physical threats and violence against a spouse is right at the top of my list of absolutely the fuck not, right? I'm one of those guys, if any of my friends, male or female, raise their hand to their spouse and I found out about it, we got a box. We have to. I don't care if I've known you for 5 minutes or 5 years. We got a box. We're going to fight. If I found out you raised your hand to your spouse, we're fighting. That's it. I'm going to put you in check right the fuck now. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Same thing if I find out you raised your hand to your child. We're going to fucking fight. I don't care. We're going to fucking fight. I'm going to hold your ass accountable for that fucking behavior in the best way I know how. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if it wasn't clear, I do not tolerate this fuck shit. Okay, let's read the story. Hello, me, 24, and my husband, 36, bit of an age gap there, have been married for 2 years. I mean, it all kind of depends on when they met, you know. Married for 2 years, so she was 22 and he was 34. Like I said, it's a bit of an age gap. It depends on when they met, right? Like, age gaps are a little weird. This is going to be a little tangent for a second. Age gaps are a little weird, right? Because, like, you look at that big of an age gap and you're kind of like, right, you know? But, like, if they met when she was, I don't know, 22, the time they got married, she was 22, that seems really young for a guy that old, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, your frontal lobe's not developed till you're late into your 20s and shit, and, like, it just seems kind of, I mean, she's legal, but, like, legality doesn't equal morality, you know what I'm saying? So, whatever, that's not what this is about. The age gap isn't what this is about, but it's kind of a weird one. Anyway, I don't know what came over him, but last week he yelled at me for not picking up his mom's call. I was in the kitchen at the time, washing rice, and I genuinely didn't hear the call. My husband was in the washroom, so he didn't hear it either. She called him 3 times. Later, when he saw the call, he got mad at me since I was in the kitchen, so I could have easily picked up the phone that was in the living room. I really would have done that if I actually heard it, but he said I was making up excuses and if some speaker was in my ears for me not to hear the ringing. He says making up excuses and if some speaker was in my ears for me not to hear the ring. Okay, so like, I feel like English isn't the first language here. So he's probably asking like, what if like said she was wearing headphones or something so she couldn't hear the ring or whatever. I have yet to hear anything that warrants a hand being raised, but continue. Honestly, whenever I wash rice, the noise of the water coming through the tap is just so loud. Even if someone were to tell me something standing close, I wouldn't hear half of it. But he didn't believe it and just kept getting louder. I already don't like the fact that he's yelling at her. I don't like... Yelling is... Don't yell at me. don't ever yell at me. Don't. For your own safety. Don't. He said I'm disrespecting his mom. He said I need to pay more attention to my surroundings and not have my head in some imaginary world. What the fuck? Okay, why is this such a big goddamn deal? Was the mom dying or something? Like, was there an emergency of some kind? Why the fuck does this fucking matter? And also, he didn't hear the shit either. So why is it just on her? Because she was closer or whatever? Like, fucking... I was already upset because of how loudly he was speaking to me, so I raised my voice too and asked why he didn't just take his phone with him to the washroom. Oh, it was his phone? It was his phone? He's mad at her for not picking up his phone that he didn't have on him? Why the fuck didn't you have your phone on you, bitch? Like, what? Like, this is even crazier. I thought it was like a home phone or something. Me, my old ass thinking it was a landline. So, like, he didn't have his phone on him. His mother called him. His wife didn't hear his phone ring, didn't pick up his phone to talk to his mother, and somehow that's her fault because he didn't have his phone on him to receive the call from his mother. Man, fuck you. What the hell? Okay, and asked why he didn't take his phone with him to the washroom. But out of nowhere, he just raised his hands at me, and I'm not even kidding, he said, "Shut your mouth." He's never said that to me before, so I was beyond taken aback, and then he said he regrets marrying me. Jesus Christ! I feel like this was built up. I feel like this is not about the mom's call. I feel like this is not about a singular phone call. This is not about not receiving a call from your mother or whatever. I feel like this has been building. I think bro hates you. I think he's been hating you for a while. Things have been building. Resentments, all kinds of annoyances. Whatever the fuck's going on in his head's been building and building, and now he's lashing out. I think that's what's happening, because there's no way this one little thing, this innocuous little nothing thing, is the catalyst for him being like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, I regret marrying you, you bitch. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems a little extreme for something so small. So this has been building. This resentment has been... You don't just immediately jump out of nowhere to smacking your fucking spouse around, right? I mean, if you're an abusive asshole, you're an abusive asshole, but she seems surprised by this as anybody. So, like... This seems out of character for him, from her perspective, at any rate. So this resentment has been building to the point now where it's bubbling up, and now he's thinking about physical fucking violence against his wife, which is insane work, right? I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's happening. I don't care what's been going on in your relationship. The only time you should put your hands on your spouse is if they're trying to hurt you first. You know what I'm saying? Like... I'd be all for him giving her the 3-piece with the soda if she's like coming at him with a knife or something, right? She's got a gun. She's fucking trying to kill him, or, beating the shit out of him, throwing things at him, whatever, for trying to really hurt him. Then I'm all for him fucking getting her with the yaha! You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with that. But, and vice versa, right? But like, just to out of nowhere fucking, I don't like your tone, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Bitch, huh? Right? Like, any other circumstance other than the ones I described, there's no reason to put your hands on your partner. I don't care if they cheated on you, right? Be mad, yell and scream, break up with them, fuck them, but don't put your hands on them. You know what I'm saying? Don't put your hands on them. There's no reason for that in that situation. So, I'm like, that one's, that one's kind of tough, because obviously you see your partner's cheating, you get real mad, whatever, but like, still, don't be putting your hands on him for that, okay? There's no situation other than the one I described where you should be rightfully putting your hands on your partner, okay? Let's read this last paragraph here. We haven't spoken to each other over the week. He's ignoring me. I was expecting a sorry, but he's acting as if I don't live in the same house. Now I don't even know if he means what he said, or if I did something wrong, or if I should just apologize. No! Right now, my thoughts keep circling back to him saying he regrets marrying me, so I was considering a divorce. I haven't told my parents what happened, but I did call my friend and cry for a while. She said that was rude of him, but it's better not to make it a huge issue like divorce. Am I the asshole? What do I do now? Bitch. Let's backpedal, put it in reverse, now throw her in reverse, roll them up. Again, what do you mean your friend said that was rude of him, but don't make it a huge issue? What do you mean? She's not making it a huge issue. It is a huge issue. What the fuck are we talking about here? What the fuck is going on? She said, what kind of friend is that? Saying that was rude of him. That wasn't rude of him, bitch. That was a threat. That was a threat. That was a physical threat of violence. And he said a horrible thing like he regrets marrying her. These are not things these are not little molehills that she's making mountains out of, right? This is some serious fucking abusive shit, right? So don't listen to your fucking friend. She's dumb. What do? Leave is what I would say. Leave. Like, he may not have smacked you this time, but if he's willing to get to the point where he is raising a hand at you and saying these awful things to you, I mean, him eventually putting hands on you is the natural progression of events. You know, I'm not somebody who gets, apocalyptic and says, oh my God, leave your husband after every fucking argument. But, like, this situation here, where he's raising a hand to you already, he's getting aggressive, saying horrible things to you, threatening you, whatever, like, it's only going to escalate. And to a point where he actually does put hands on you, and then it's going to be too late to leave because you're going to be in the hospital, you're going to be dead, something's going to be going on, right? Like, and that might seem a little dramatic, but that's how these things go, y'all. That's how they progress. They start out as little nothings, little insults and physical whatever things, and then it escalates and it escalates and it escalates until essentially somebody's fucking dead. All right? So to avoid that problem, girl, huge red flag, dripping blood red flags all over the place. You gotta go. You're still young. You're still got a lot of life ahead of you. Cut these ties with this dude, this old man, and fucking go live your life. Find somebody who's gonna treat you properly. Okay? Because there are so many men, or women if you want to go that route, out there that will treat you the way you deserve and will never raise a hand to you or say horrible things like this to you. There are a lot of people that will do these things. You got to vet those people out, but there's a lot of people that will genuinely be there for you and love you and not treat you horribly. There are good people out there. I haven't met a lot of them personally, but they are there. So, yeah. The fact that he didn't apologize at all is another huge red flag, because it shows that he's not sorry, right? He's not sorry for what he did. He's not sorry for raising his hand to you or saying what he said to you, which is even worse, right? It wasn't like, which it would be bad enough. It was a spontaneous fucking utterance. He got really mad and said some hurtful shit and then felt really bad about it later. That would be bad enough and still inexcusable. But the fact that he said all that and behaved that way and is not even sorry is even more dangerous, okay? So, he regrets marrying you? All right, let's finish it out then, and let's let bygones be fucking bygones at this point. And so, no. My advice, since this thing is tagged as advice needed, leave his ass, find somebody who would never raise a hand to you or speak to you in that manner, because that shit is absolutely insane. Okay, and the fact that she's asking herself if she did something wrong or if she should apologize just lets me know that, like, maybe he hasn't, ever raised a hand to her before, but I sincerely doubt that this is the first time that he has said bad things to her or made her feel down about herself or done some kind of emotional, mental manipulation, abuse situations to now the point where this man raised a hand to her and she's still asking if she should apologize. Right? So, like, I don't know how their relationship has gone to this point over these past 2 years or how long they've been together, what the fuck. But, like, this might be the first time he's ever raised a hand, but this is definitely not the first time he's done something abusive. Because she would not have that reaction of, oh, he threatened to hit me, maybe I should apologize, if this wasn't already an ingrained, learned behavior that, like, he's the man, he's in charge, and she's little nothing, or whatever. So the fact that she's even questioning this is evidence to me that this dude has been doing abusive shit, just not to this extent, right? So, at any rate, folks, I didn't get quite as angry as I thought I would. I mean, I got pretty hyphy. I swore a lot. I'm gonna swear more because I swear, but this one was a little bit, rougher. Not quite a lot of comedy, more just talking about stuff. We can all be outraged together. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the end of this one. I've said about all I need to say on this particular topic. So I think now we're going to get into the outro pants. I'm not wearing pants. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for hanging out with me and your ride to work or to the store, back from work, to your mother's house, to your father's house, to your girlfriend, boyfriend, they, them, friend, partner's house. Maybe listen to me at work. Maybe listen to me while you're doing chores. I don't know. However you choose to accept me into your ears, I appreciate it. Was that weird? I'm alright with it. With all that being said, everybody, let's get into the special message portion. At the end of these, I always end with a special message. Let's get into it. And today's special message, folks, jeez, all my special messages kind of revolve around similar things, respect, love for each other, honesty, communication, all those things. Sometimes I'm talking about kids, sometimes I'm talking about with your partner, or your friends, or your parents, or what have you. But in this specific instance here, I just want to say, man, respect your partners, right? Respect your partners, respect their boundaries, respect the things that they've been through and their traumas, and expect the same from them in return. Respect each other, communicate with each other appropriately being the key word there. No yelling, screaming, name-calling, none of that shit. None of that's constructive, okay? We all have traumas, we all have issues, we all have things we're working through. That's not an excuse to lash out at somebody else, okay? And if you feel like you're in that mode, like you're gonna lash out, take a minute, take a step back. And if you're with somebody who's not going to allow you to take that step back, then that's its own issue entirely. But take that step back until you're ready to communicate appropriately. Okay? And then once you are, you guys can come together, talk about what's bothering you, what boundaries you feel like were crossed, where everyone's at, mentally, physically, emotionally. And hopefully, if you love each other and you want to make it work, you come to some kind of common ground in the middle. Right? You both hear each other, genuinely listen and hear each other and where each other's coming from, and do your best to communicate yourself to your partner, and you guys talk it out and figure out where you can come to somewhere in the middle where everyone feels comfortable and happy and safe. Okay? And all this is, it sounds easy. I know it's not easy. It's hard. Relationships are hard. There's a lot of learning, a lot of maneuvering, figuring things out. But at the end of the day, genuinely, just be yourself, communicate your thoughts and needs appropriately, listen when your partner needs and wants to be heard, okay? And just be honest with each other. Just be honest and communicative with each other. Be yourselves, and if you're meant to be together, it will work out. Okay? Not everything's always going to be perfect, sunshine and rainbows all the time. Not everything's always going to be exactly how you want it. But if you love each other, you will find ways to get through whatever rough patches you have. Okay? Mind you, serious abuse and things like that are not rough patches. Those are things to get away from. I'm talking about genuine just miscommunications, crossing boundaries, new discoveries, things like that. All right? Things that you can talk about together as a unit and come together and figure it out together. When they say fight for your relationship, it doesn't mean fight each other. Okay? It means fight together against whatever it is that's coming in to try and hurt your relationship, whether it's thoughts, feelings, outside fucking noise, whatever, okay? When you're fighting for your relationship, keep in mind, you're not supposed to be fighting each other. You're supposed to be fighting together against the things that would try to ruin you. All right? All right. Thanks for listening. Listen to me in the next one. I'll talk at you another time. All right, everybody? Stay safe out there. Peace.